Alright, so another Shyamalan movie came out. First, it's his kid who did the movie Watchers or The Watcher or whatever, that thing. That wasn't good. Um, and then now it's his own movie because he's like, well, I gave my kid, here, you got it. But father has to also disappoint, you know. And I rated them the same. They're both 2 stars. They're not good, you know. The This movie's not good. I don't get the the hubbub, to sound like an old person, that I was hearing from a lot of people. Were like, no, this is actually a good Shyamalan movie, and I'm like, really? Is this like Sixth Sense good? Is this even like Signs good? Village good? Like what do you mean this is good? And I feel like if Josh Hartnett wasn't the lead, like if we didn't have like a well-known actor who we know can act do this lead, it would have fallen apart immediately. I mean, again, as you could see from like the trailer, and I'm not going to do one, two, three spoilers. This movie's terrible. Are you seriously thinking that this was going to be a good movie? Anyway, so I'm just going to go into it. So, like I said, you can see from the trailer that, Trap, the whole thing was put on this concert to trap the killer. You know from the trailer already that Josh Hartnett is the killer because he goes in the bathroom, like looks at his phone, and it's like, there's a guy in my basement. Like, all right. So he plays a dad, and oh my god, this is talking about like starting to feel old. So he's the dad. The mom is played by Alison Pill, and I'm like she's like only like a year older than me, and I'm like, God. And I know a lot of people my age are getting married, having kids, yada yada. But like, it's like when people have like people are my age, like they already have a teenager. I'm like, oh, bro, stop, man. I don't need to feel like this. Anyway, so oh, the pop singer in the movie is Shyamalan's other kid because he's has other kids. So he's got the director writer kid and he's got like the pop music kid. I don't. I'm guessing that's actually her singing because I was looking in the IMDb credits and all that stuff. I guess it's her. It's not bad. It's generic pop singing voice. It doesn't sound like it's too much auto tune, so it seems like she can carry a tune. So it's like good on her. But her acting is just like, it's like, oh, that's nice, honey. Stick with the music thing. That's very cute. But my God, was the acting. She's like, whoa, oh, it's all like Sniper Wolf, levels of acting. Whoa, I'm gonna shoot this. I'll help you. I dropped some ammo for you. Man, that fucking Darmon shit. Anyway, um, so yeah, goes, going to see like the pop star, da da da. They have like great seats to seat, great streets. They have floor seats. They're really close, yada yada. The daughter's excited. She's a teenager, all that stuff. Apparently, she had some falling out with some friends. It's teenagers. It's gonna happen. That sucks. They got great seats. Apparently, the friends that weren't good to her have like seats that would be probably something I normally end up getting. Just like be like, I don't have floor seats, but fucking have seats. So when Josh Hartnett would go to like the bathroom or wherever, and then like the mom of like the girl that they had a falling out with would like show up. She'd be like, "Hi, it's me, Debbie." I don't know her name, but she's like, "Oh, hey." Oh, and it's like, man, you're being really creepy. And it's also like it doesn't help that Josh Hartnett, his character the entire time is just. How does anyone trust him? Is it because he's attractive? Is that why people trust him? Because he plays like such like a robot, like he's an alien, or is this a sequel to Signs? Like he's like an alien where he's just like, these are emoting. I love this music that hits my human ears. Like he'll be like, yeah, let's go. Oh, well, let's get the T-shirt and all that stuff. No, that's fine. Blah blah blah. Hey, let me talk to that guy at the merch booth. Hey, so what's up with all these cops? And I love how that guy just like is like he's just the exposition guy. He's like, so here's the thing, as you saw in the trailer. Da ba da ba ba. Dude, you ask people at like venues and stuff, and you go, yo, what's with all the cops? And then they would just like they'll just look at you and be like, it's because of ya. They'll be like, You know, they're like, I don't know, because y'all don't know how to act right. You know, you got a big pop star. You know, like this is like an equivalent of, let's say, this is in their universe, like a Taylor Swift, Beyonce kind of thing, where like it's a big fuck off name. You know, so it makes sense why it would be like heightened security. Granted, this is a little extra, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised because crazy people exist and they'll be like, oh, said big name pop star who I, in my head, feel like we have a relationship together. I'm going to go there and do something. Like, that happens. So, if I were to be at a venue at some crazy big pop star, which that would be a big surprise, I would have to be paid to go to one of these things anyway. And I would be like, hey man, at the merch booth with someone I'm trying to buy merch for this teenage girl, what's up with all the cops? They would just look at me like, bitch, shut the fuck up and move along. You know, we got other people in line who want to buy shirts. Anyway, so, also I love how he's like, oh yeah, we got more shirts in the back. That's not how that works, man. They'll be like, depending on the venue, sometimes there's usually, like bigger venues, there's always like at least 4 to 5, you know, merch booths, like one per floor, you know, one of those kind of things. And because I think when I saw Sleep Token, there was 1, 2, 3. Sleep Token had like 4, because there's the one on like the main entrance, then there was 2 downstairs, and then there was 1 upstairs, and I had to like hop around to get the fucking shirts I wanted. But anyway, but yeah, it's one thing to be like, cool, we don't have it, but you know, Stacy and them upstairs or downstairs or whatever probably has more. There's no like, there's the back. No, this is not like the retail thing where people are like, do you have more in the back? No. And even if there was, we're not gonna look because it's just so much shit. It's boxes and you get fine print on boxes. No, Mary, there's none. You know. So yeah, that I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. So exposition. So like the daughter's trying to enjoy the concert and all that stuff, and then the dad keeps leaving to go to the bathroom, all that stuff, and then he'll like drag his daughter. She's like, oh, let's go here. Oh, it'll be like really obvious. And, like, how do you not know? Like okay, the daughter notices the dad's being weird. But she's not being like, Dad, you're being weird. She's just kind of like, are you mad at me? Do you want to leave? And it's like, no, oh my God. But he'll just be like, walk his daughter somewhere or be like, oh, let's go outside some fresh air. Actually, you know what? No. This is one of the songs that you love playing. Let's go back inside and enjoy the show. And it's like, okay, you know, like it's because he's just looking to see like people using like their badge cards to like enter a door, like count the amount of cops. It's like, bro, you are not subtle. Also, like Josh Hartnett is like 6'3" or 6'5". Like, he's a tall guy. It's like, and also like it's a show, a bunch of teenage girls and moms, and then you're like one of the few dads that are there, and you're fuck off tall. It's like Conan O'Brien showing up. It's like, it's like when Conan O'Brien was like in Japan. It's like, there he is, you know. You'll be in like freaking like Kyoto pointing at Tokyo. You'd be like, I see Conan O'Brien, you know. It's like that. Like, I love how like he really thought you could get away with like his like weird shit. And so, you know, the concert goes on, and I also found it funny that there was all these like long intermission breaks in between where the daughter is like, Dad, I want to see if I can get that shirt, but while they're changing like the set for the next thing, and I'm like, damn, changing sets, it's Broadway, you know, they do like you know, the intermission music or you know the overture, and it's like, oh shit, fucking, you know, let's see what happens, you know, like, okay, I love it's like sets because like she has like 3 like screens and maybe like a couple things that like they can like wheel out sets, you know. Fine. And so yeah, like 2/3 of the movie, majority of the movie is in the concert hall, blah 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 blah. And so him just chatting with that guy, he was just like able just to get all this information. Oh, I know what the code word is, and da da da. But what are you telling people? You're terrible at your job. Like, don't just tell anyone. Or if you're gonna say, just say a fake one. Like, I'm not doing this whole like, oh man, like super secret. But like, again, you don't know who the killer is. It could have been him. You know, and it was him, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fucking know. Don't fucking say shit, you know? And it's not the whole, like, oh, I love this job, you know? This most likely non-union job that overworks me, you know? But you get what I mean? It's like, fuck. And then it's like, he, like, goes behind the counter, like, where people are frying up food, and then it's like, he throws, like, more oil in there, and then it causes, like, an explosion and hurts a girl, so it causes a distraction. Because also, yeah, he had, like, you know, taken like a radio and was like listening to what the SWAT team, the cops were saying. So he was like, you know, 1 step, 2 steps ahead of everyone. I was just like, oh my God. And again, it's like wouldn't you notice, like, if you're working there, wouldn't you notice a super tall guy out of nowhere who just, like, put on an apron? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because, like, most jobs I've worked at, like, even if they were big, you just know everyone who works there, you know? And even if someone, like, shows up, like, I remember, like, we'd have, like, a different security guard come in when I worked in, like, this big retail store, and new security come in, and even though they're in the security outfit, we'd be like, who are you? You know? They'd be like, oh, I'm Ted, I'm security today. And we'd be like, okay. You know, like, there's none of this, like, okay, just, like, you know, because everyone's like, oh, you're the new person. Oh, you're in this department. Like, people are, you know, they're chatty and they're catty and all that stuff because these are the type of jobs. Like, there's no way no one's gonna notice you, like, behind, like, the fucking concession stands. Also, for concessions, I think most places don't even do deep fryers anymore. It's the thing where it's like it's all air frying. But again, this is just me being like, actually, boo, 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 you know, I know somebody who works concessions at Madison Square Garden, and they said it's not how it's done anymore, you know. Anyway, so so yeah, he's like doing all distraction. Then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go up to the roof," and then all these cops are like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "Oh my god, oh my god, acting, oh my god, something happened, oh my god." And then they're like, "Yeah, what's the password?" Also, what do you mean, what's the password? Like, this also feels like fucking like a clubhouse for a child. What's the password? Tostina's pizza rolls. All right, you can go in. No girls allowed. Like, okay, they're like, oh, do you also have the card that we gave you guys for the day? You know? And then, of course, he's like, just so happens to put on an apron that had a wallet in the apron. Don't put your wallet in the apron. No one's supposed to. Pulls it out, some guy named, like, whatever, and pulls out some card. He's like, oh, and they're like, okay, he can go. Just, oh, I hope she's okay. You know? I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. You know, I mean, we all know that, like, law enforcement are fucking stupid, but my fucking Christ, man. You know? It's just like, oh, acting, you know? And he goes back and he finally gets back to the show, and, like, the daughter is like, oh my god, Dad, where have you been? Da da da. Like, obviously, like, the fuck. And also, like, the daughter is saying, like, oh, I hope they played that song because she brings someone up on stage. And he's like, ooh, really? Because then, oh, also there was, like, a trap door on the floor next to them that opened up. And I love how there was no, like, security initially. Because then, like, you heard the door open and there was, like, some guest, some other guy who's also in music. Which, one thing I have to say, kind of cool that they brought actual people in music, just so, because, like, this whole thing is a concert, so, like, when they're performing and all that stuff, it doesn't look weird. Like, you know when you have actors play, like, musicians, play, like, people in the music business, and they're so, like, weirdly stiff on stage, even though, like, they're used to acting, but, you know, when you're with music, you're just like, what am I doing? Like, they're like, what am I doing? It's, like, really weird. Like, it just, like, it's like, okay, it's anyway, blah blah blah. So yeah, the trapdoor opens, and then, you know, the guy comes out, and yeah, that was when, like, he was like, hey, let's go down there to see what's up, and she's like, Dad, we can't. Also, like, I would just, what? I don't know. Anyway, so then he goes and sees freaking Shyamalan, his ass, that's his cameo, and goes and says, like, oh, hey, my daughter just recovering from leukemia, of course, lies. And he's like, yeah, she's, like, happy, she's blah, 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 whatever lie, whatever lie. So then, of course, Shyamalan and two other people come over, and they're like, honey, do you want to be on stage with so-and-so? And, like, the people, the girls next to her are like, ah! And then she's like, you know? So, of course, they get to be closer to the artist, and then they're like, go, and then she's on stage, like, dancing with, like, the singer, you know, Shyamalan's other kid, you know? And then it's funny, because then you see the girl that, like, she had a falling out with up there with her mom, and she's like, and then the mom was like, you ungrateful, and it's just kind of like, what is this movie, you know? And so, of course, he's, like, backstage, you know, he's, like, scoping things out. And, of course, you know, it's, like, the thing of, like, the closer you are to the cops and all that stuff, the least likely they're going to think it's you, you know? Fun times. And so, at one point, he's like, oh, hey, like, when this is over, like, we can leave around the back. And the woman's like, yeah, sure, you know? And then once they're, like, they're waiting in the hallway. Oh, Kid Cudi is there with, like,